So probably the most popular Power Wheels ride-on are these Peg Perigo 12-volt Gators, and we've got a demonstration here of what can be done when you go 18 volts. And we're going to get into some more videos because this thing is just a hot commodity and everybody wants them. So we had a customer drive 3 hours and drop this off, and she wanted it 18 volts, and we did lights on it too, but she wanted longer run time, so we had to do two 18 volt 12 amp hour packs. The stock battery goes in here. Obviously you're not going to get anything bigger than a 12 volt 12 amp hour in there. It's not in the bed. Check it out. So underneath the seat well is a big void. We actually installed dual 18 volt 12 amp hour packs. And they are wired in parallel. And here's the charge port, and here's the thermal breaker. If it ever has a bad motor or if something happens, it'll trip that. So without further ado, we've got some racers and a race master here, and we are going to show you guys in real life what the difference is between 5 miles an hour and 7.5 miles an hour with a race down to those pillars. So let's get started. Let's see how much faster the 18 volt Gator is. Go ahead and line them up there, buddy. Alright, so here's the custom battery tray we made that goes under the belly pan of the Gator. Basically this area is underneath the seats, and it's just a big old empty spot. So what we did is we fabricated a metal tray, and it literally fits perfectly inside the rails of the Gator. And this is two 18 volt battery packs, 12 amp hours each, in parallel. And how you get it in parallel is you just have a Y here, so each battery positive and each battery negative goes up to the foot throttle. To do it right, you got to put your circuit breaker in, and then of course we have our 18 volt battery charge port right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this installed, get some more pictures, and we now have a Gator that's 18 volts and 24 amp hours of capacity. So it's going to have some serious run time, double the run time and 50% more speed. So it's 7.5 miles an hour. Perfect mod. So let's get this thing installed. Alright, so I got the batteries pushed up in the custom welded up battery tray, and we ended up with 4 quarter 20 bolts, one at each end here. And the back, to get to them, it is a little bit tricky. What you have to do is, the bolts are down in here. So you just hold it in place with needle nose pliers and slide it in, and 7/16 wrenches on there. And now we are good to go. Okay, so now that we've got 18 volts, we've got more power, which is more torque on these plastic gears. So what we've installed is called an anti-lock brake. What it is, it's a resistor, and the value of it is actually 100 watts at half an ohm. And I've actually bypassed it with this jumper wire. So stock from the factory, the blue wire is solid, and it's basically it's an emergency brake. what it does is it shorts the motor leads together. Okay, so it basically turns the motor into a generator so that there's resistance. And what it is when you press the gas pedal, it abruptly stops because the motors are shorting out. So if I disengage my little jumper so that it basically resists the resistance, so it lets a little bit of power through, so this is what you get. And half an ohm is a perfect value. We've used 0.47, and some of the old Power Wheels brands, believe it or not, used to have those resistors in there. And if you disabled that at all, if I pulled this whole wire off, which, why don't we just go ahead and show you guys that, because I'm kind of into the how-to thing. So I totally disengaged that blue wire. Now watch what happens. You have no brakes, so it can kind of be dangerous a little bit, you know, if they're going down a hill, or if you want to stop it and you're on a little bit of an angle on your driveway, your vehicle's just going to roll away because it does not short out the motors. So that's a quick little tip, and it definitely saves gearboxes from slamming when your kid lets off the gas pedal. So I'm going to put the rest of this Gator together and give the customer a call, because we've also installed the lights, which we did on a separate circuit. There's the stock battery location, which that's the biggest negative to these Gators is where you put a bigger battery to make it go faster or longer run times. That literally fits a 12 volt, 12 amp hour battery, and that's it. So what we did is we just used the stock battery, and it's just running the lights. They won't have to charge this for weeks probably. But that's what we did on this Gator, and I'll do a final review of when I get it all put together. And who knows, we got another one in the box here. We might even just do an unboxing review. Some of those unboxing we've done lately have really had some good positive feedback. So keep an eye out for that one.